What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Nathaniel Gaming, and we're back, and we're going to. I finally 100% of the Winter Spotlight event, and now I'm going to be ranking all of the tokens based on difficulty-wise, and I will make another tier list later based on how fun it was. So, without further ado, let's get started. So first, on the list we have Greenville. Greenville was extremely fun as it had. It was just a straight boss fight, two boss fights that were super easy. The NPCs just walked around, and then you just threw snowballs at them. It was very, very easy to do, and it goes straight into 20 plus minutes. It did not take too long, and it was very straightforward, which is very typical since it didn't have an elite token. Next is going to be Bloxburg. Now, Bloxburg was kind of annoying. It really was just you had to sit there for 4 mini games in a row. I did not figure out how to shovel snow, so I was, I guess, there a little longer than I should have been when doing Bloxburg. Okay, now moving on to Bee Swarm. Now, the standard token for Bee Swarm is actually not that difficult. As you can see in the bottom right, the Bee Swarm quest is actually really simple, as you can just instantly do it, and it's not very hard to do. You just collect some pollen, collect snowflakes. The hardest part is probably just the snowflakes part because they spawn on RNG, but if you just kill enemies, you should be able to do it extremely quickly, and it should not be that much of a problem. Now, the elite token is a different story. The elite token I started from scratch in Bee Swarm, and the elite token took me 6 hours to beat. Now, it's not really difficult in terms of skill base. It's just difficult in terms of grind. You're gonna be on Bee Swarm for a while, especially if you start from the start. But it is definitely possible, as I did it within 6 hours, and it wasn't that bad. And one thing I do want to say for Bee Swarm, if you are stuck on the brown bear stalking, there is a field dice that you can buy, and it's called the starter sample pack on the right. If you click the gingerbread, you can buy the 3 field dice you need very quickly, and that's one way to quickly get past the brown bear stalking elite token. However, you will still have to collect the 750,000 pollen, which is definitely a grind, and it's not going to be very fun. The 3 bears that I recommend helping with Bee's Miss are going to be black bear, mother bear, and brown bear. You can do panda bear, which requires you to kill vicious bees. If you if you actually play Bee Swarm, you probably know what that means. But vicious bees are like rare spawns that barely happen, so it's not really optimal to do panda bear unless you know what you're doing, or you have like a bunch of night bells on you. All right, next is Bed Wars. Now, Bed Wars, the standard token is super easy. It's almost free. You can just participate, and you will have a good time. Now, the elite token is not very difficult. The elite token, you have to kill Ade Tunde at the top of the peak, and you have to get past Spleef, Color Match, and Fishing, and Snowball, which all are extremely easy mini games to get through, and should not be a problem at all. It should only take about an hour if you die like about 3 times, so it really isn't that difficult, and that's probably one of the easier elite tokens to go for. Next is Creatures of Sonaria. Now, Creatures of Sonaria was pretty fun, but like the problem with Creatures is that there's lots of competitive players. So from a lot of these games, there's lots of competitive players that will try to snipe you just because they're trying to play the game properly and kill you. Creatures is one of them, and you have to fly around and you have to survive. You have to eat your food, so you have to do other things other than completing your Winter Spotlight quest, which is going to make Creatures of Sonaria going to be one of the longer ones, but not necessarily difficult. The standard token, you just have to carry some presents over to some sleighs. The sleighs are on the map, the presents are not, but that really doesn't make a difference. It's still extremely easy to complete and should not take longer than 20 minutes. Now, the elite token for Creatures of Sonaria requires you to complete 4 more quests, and honestly, it's not too difficult. It is very time consuming, but it is in no way difficult, as there are the stars above the maps that will give you infinite stamina, and using those you can complete the other quests quickly if you know what you're doing. The middle island, probably you should do that one last because it gives you the infinite star stamina, which you can use to complete the volcano and the mountain one quickly. You can ditch the star and then do the candy cane one quickly. So this did take an hour just because it was long, but other than that, it should not take too long. And is one of the easier tokens to knock out. Next is Dragon Adventures. Dragon Adventures, the first one is super easy. The only problem about it is that you just have to wait for someone to join the snowball mini game, which you need 3 people. And you might not have those people in your server, but you just gotta wait, or you can bring in an alt, which is what I did. All right, I'm gonna actually skip to football real quick because if you can see in the bottom right corner, I actually managed to pull it off. So basically, what you have to do is you have to just run with the ball. And I'm talking about the elite token. So if you don't know what the Football Fusion or the NFL Universe one is, basically the first one you have to block some players. I don't know, you might not know what that means, but you can just click the block button, which is just clicking, and then you shove the opponent until they ragdoll. Like, yeah, that's all you have to do. You have to do it 15 times, and it honestly was extremely easy. I just feel like the difficulty of NFL is just because people don't know how to play football properly, and there are a lot of sweats in this game, of course. If you turn on voice chat, you'll know. And yeah, I will say that both the football ones were extremely easy. I was in and out in like 10 minutes. Like, I'm not even kidding. Because to do the pass one, the one where you have to gain 15 yards, you can just vote yourself quarterback and then run with the ball like 15 yards towards the other team. It is really not that difficult, and if you're having problems being quarterback, just bring in an alt and vote yourself as quarterback, and it makes it a lot easier to complete. You just have to run forward with the ball, and you don't have to catch anything, because one of the here, let me read it real quick since I'm in game. Let me read it. It says oh wait, I have to block players first, but I'm pretty sure it says rushing, passing, or returning. Rushing basically means if you're the quarterback and you go on that circle where it says QB, then you get the ball, and then you just run forward. And you have to do that for 15 yards, and that's not very long at all. And I found this NFL quest extremely easy. I was in and out in 10 minutes. All right, okay, let's go back to Dragon Adventures. So Dragon Adventures, the elite token, I kind of watched a guide and skipped through the puzzle section, so I really didn't find it too difficult to complete with the guide, but without the guide it could be a little bit confusing. But I would say that the puzzles, I did look at the door and try to solve them, but it didn't really resonate with me because I was using a guide. So I'm gonna say the Dragon Adventure one, it could take a while, but it was super easy, and is definitely an elite token you should consider going after. Okay, now both of the Dress to Impress ones are extremely easy. You just have to do their little winter event, and you'll find it. I will put the standard token harder than the elite token, only because I actually played through all 3 chapters of Dress to Impress and missed both tokens, and I got the elite token during the Santa boss fight, but I actually missed the reindeer one. I don't know why, but I just didn't read the portal information, because I just went straight into Dress to Impress because I thought, like it was that was what I was supposed to do. Apparently not. And of course the Santa one, the elite token during the Santa boss fight is super out in the open. The only thing it's black instead of red, so there should be no problems with Dress to Impress, and is definitely one you should be going for. Next is Driving Empire. I really hate Driving Empire. It's not a very fun game, and for the past Hunt and Classic, they're just putting things around the map for you to find, and it's really time consuming. The normal token, where you have to complete 5 races, super easy, is definitely one that you can go for instantly as soon as you join. Now the elite token for the cookies, that is a different story, and if you're not using a guide, you're gonna be in Driving Legends for a really long time, and you'll not have a lot of fun. So I definitely recommend using a guide for the Driving Legends one. It's not fun. All right, next is Dusty Trip. Dusty Trip, I will say the standard token is pretty difficult. You will have to survive through the Nutcracker, you will have to survive through Frosty, and then finally you'll have to take on the Grinch, and you have to do that without dying. This is the only Winter Spotlight, and honestly the only like Roblox event that I actually had to spend Robux on. Me and my teammate both revived during the Grinch fight, and we almost died inside one of the Dusty Trip houses that are on the side because we needed to collect the missing Porsche piece, which I'll talk about in a second. So I really did not like that at all. It was just insanely difficult with the Grinch's henchmen being like they one-shot you, and if you don't have certain weapons, then you will fall to the Grinch. Okay, let's talk about the Dusty Trip elite token. The elite token is a giant mess. First of all, you cannot do this without a guide. You are gonna be stranded in Winter Wonderland until you decide to open up YouTube and find a guide. You have to find the Porsche at 3,500 meters, which there's no indication at all. Then you have to find car parts in which there's also no indication at all where they are. You have to collect the cookies and milk either from a house from the start, bring it all the way to 3,000 meters. Then you have to go back to 1,000 meters to pull a lever that may or may not work because I've heard that it's very buggy. And then you have to go to 6,000 meters to pick up a car part that, again, there's no indication it's there. Also, it blends in with the background. So if you do find that house, then there's no like guarantee that you'll get that car part. Then you have to do an RNG section where you have to raid houses until you find the car part. Dusty Trip is just a giant mess and is definitely probably the hardest event in this event, the hardest game in this event, like hands down. It's just a giant mess that there's literally no indication for Dusty Trip. Like if there was like arrows pointing you what to do, like it would be a lot like, you know, simpler. And even with the arrows, it's still so long. I think I spent 2 hours in the game just driving, like, and fighting guys. Like we were done with the standard token like 1/4 of the you can do both of them in the same. Basically you do the standard token and then you have to do the elite, but I was done with the standard token like 1/4 into the entire run. Also, yes, you cannot die. If you do die, you will have to either spend Robux or like do it again. So like this game sapped 60 cents out of me and is not really it is a painful grind. This should be one that you would skip. Next is Hero Battlegrounds, and you can see in the background I've been getting killed by like everyone in the server. Hero Battlegrounds you definitely want to do in a server, a low server, and with an alt, because you are not killing these guys because I don't know, they're on like they've played this game for like 2 years straight, and the easy badge definitely is going in long. It took a while to get this one. Until I figured out that you had to go into a private server. Then it probably goes into pretty annoying. But other than that, I thought that the standard token was a lot harder than the elite token. The elite token, you just have to participate in mini games in which they spawn randomly, so just sit AFK in a server and then pop up every once in a while when the mini game shows up. So the easy token was definitely harder because you actually have to be landing kills on people. I tried this in public servers, and then I eventually moved to smaller servers, and then our smaller servers got bombed by some other guy. So I don't know, this is really like a hit or miss, really. If you're good at this type of stuff, that you'll probably destroy everyone in your server and instantly do it, but if you're not, you're gonna get destroyed by everyone else in the server. All right, next is Elemental Battlegrounds. Elemental Battlegrounds, you had to kill the Grouch I think 6 times in total, which is very iffy. It was super easy, but it was very boring. I guess this is based on difficulty, so I guess both these, I guess it goes like this. The only reason why Elemental Battlegrounds would be slightly difficult is because there are 3 presents near the Grinch's house that you have to collect for the elite token, in which there was no indication for where they were. We thought they were like, you know, around a Christmas tree or something, and we have to eventually look it up. Killing the Grouch is not the problem. Finding presents is really a problem. I mean, I guess it's super easy, like task-wise. You literally just have to walk around. I mean, if you die, you can just come back, because basically you have infinite lives, and you can just do it again and again until you feel satisfied that you can, like, you know, speedrun the Grouch or whatever. Next is Rivals. Rivals was really nice. The easy token took super easy. I basically just dueled this level 1 guy and then just killed him like 15 times or however many times you had to do it. He was really trash, but like I think you can do this with an alt, and it's probably going to be better if you do it with an alt. It's going to be a lot quicker too. If you end up doing Rivals with an alt. Now, Rivals, the elite token where you had to go into a battle royale and shoot a bunch of people. That was really fun, but it did take a while. And I say if you are bad at like FPS, it's gonna be kind of difficult to be sniping these pros like that are like flying with scythes and stuff. So like I just recommend that like you find a low server, get an alt in, and then just shoot them a bunch of times. The good news is that if you die, nothing really happens. You just stay in Rivals until you're done with the quest, depending on how good you are at the game. If you're super good at the game, you'll be out in a couple minutes. If you're really bad at the game, it can take you like hours to get all 100 kills that you need to get for the elite token. Next is Blade Ball. Blade Ball is really mixed. I know people are saying that Blade Ball is like trash, but Blade Ball was pretty enjoyable and easy. But you have to do some really specific stuff. So let's talk about that. So basically, for the standard token, you have to go into Santas versus Elves, and you have to be on the winning team. Literally just AFK until you get into a bunch of team with a bunch of pros, and then they'll like wreck everyone else in the server, and you'll instantly win. So the standard token does not take too long. Now, the elite token, you have to go into a 50-player battle royale and get top 3. This can go like one of two ways. Either you join a 50-player server and you're never gonna get top 3, or you join a super low server with like 5 people in it and then you get top 3 instantly. So the Blade Ball really is mixed. I got super lucky and got into like a Blade Ball server with like 12 people in it, and you just have to be semi-decent at Blade Ball for you to easily get this token. And I'd say this could take a while, especially if you're hopping into like 20 or 30 player servers. Good thing they put 2 balls because, you know, speed it up. But other than that, it is really difficult to do Blade Ball. All right, next is Liberty County. Okay, so Liberty County, the easy token took less than 20 minutes. I mean, I had to figure out what to do. I had to be like, okay, how am I gonna rob this store? And then I found out that there's this one gas station right next to spawn that's super easy to go rob. So I was like, okay, fine. And that one took a while to figure out, and then I kept getting arrested, but it was eventually done. Now, the elite token, you have to basically do that 12 more times. And then I didn't know that you could hop servers, so I eventually decided to start hopping servers and robbing that one gas station in the back. The problem with Liberty County for me, I guess, if you don't want to hop servers, is that when you get arrested for 4 minutes. Like, that is like insane. You cannot play the game for 4 minutes straight, and I feel like that is just an abnormal amount of time and will make your Liberty County experience really difficult. This should not take you longer than an hour, even if you are getting arrested every like 3 seconds, because, you know, the police are overpowered in every jailbreak game. So it really does not take that long. Just go get your bat and then like leave if a policeman is coming towards you. Don't ever engage with the policeman unless you're like a god at FPS shooters. All right, next is Pets Go. Pets Go was super easy. The thing about Pets Go is that, yeah, it's time consuming, but it's easy. You just sit there and you do nothing. So both of Pets Go are going to be going into the easy tiers because like you could say that Pets Go is annoying and it's time consuming, but it's definitely easy because you just AFK. That's the whole point of Pets Go anyway. All right. Next is Fisk. Okay, so Fisk, I feel like people are definitely overreacting when they say Fisk is super difficult because you just have to catch 65 fish. Wait, no, 55 fish, and then you have to drive a boat around the map, which is honestly not that bad because they literally give you a boat. So the thing, okay, let's talk about that first. So standard token, you just have to catch 10 fish. Like, come on, you like catching 10 fish literally takes like 3 seconds, especially if you played the game. Like I did this quest using the candy cane rod, and I actually played Fisk, so I didn't use like a good rod until I did the elite token, because that made me catch 45. But even with the candy cane rod, catching the fish only really takes like 20 minutes. Like even for the elite token. Now for the elite token, I will say that the elves, you know, like if you're new to Fisk and like, oh, the map is all big and stuff, and same problem with like driving Empire, like the map is huge and like, you know, like all that stuff. But the thing is that completing the standard token gives you a 90-mile-per-hour sleigh. That's super fast. And I think that's amazing because they literally give you a boat that goes super fast so you can complete the elite token a lot faster. and that's insane. So the Fisk one is actually extremely easy, because once you complete the standard token, which is required anyway, you get a boat that can zoom across the entire map, and then getting those elves is a breeze. So Fisk realistically only takes like 40 minutes to do, and is definitely a very good game, and you should do that one. All right, Emergency Hamburg. This one was really annoying. Okay, so the truck driving one only takes 20 minutes. You just drive your truck to 3 stops and you're out. Now the police one is a lot more difficult. I will not really put it in 2+ hours. Like, it doesn't take 2 hours for you to go arrest 4 guys. But finding those guys, and the fact that Liberty County's stamina system like sucks. Like, if you jump, you lose like half your stamina, and then you're forced to walk. Like that's insane and crazy, and has like absolutely no business being like that. And the fact that the radius. The radius of the enemies is, not the enemies, the thief is so large. You have to literally like climb onto boats, jump over fences, and like find different stuff. And just walking around is such a pain in Liberty County. I mean, Emergency Hamburg, because the stamina system is just bad. Like, I could deal with you walking around and exploring and like exploring the entire map and doing, even though like those type of collect this amount of item game is super annoying, but it could be less annoying if the stamina system was actually fixed. I'm gonna skip Toilet Tower Defense for now, because if you can see in the bottom right, I am loading into a game to make a point. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna use Toilet Tower Defense in a moment, so just hold on. Okay. Next, I'm gonna do Royal High, and then we'll go back to Toilet in a second once I'm actually in the game. So Royal High is really annoying, because you do have to get all 8. Okay, let's talk about the standard token first. The standard token is super easy. There's more than 150 snowflakes. They're all around the place. You just slide down this mountain 3 times and it's over. Now the elite token, you have to use like tech. You actually have to like know what you're doing to get all of them. First, you have to keep track of where you're going. Then you have to, walk up mountains. If, people don't know that you can unequip the snowboard and walk up mountains, which is missed information and definitely should have, been accounted for. But you can unequip your snowboard and walk up mountains if you do miss snowflakes on the mountain. Okay, so now the elite token. It's just really hard, and it takes an hour. It really isn't difficult, but it's just time consuming, and like you will be there for a while. Okay, as you can see in Toilet, I'm gonna zoom up real quick. This is what Toilet Tower Defense looks like. Okay, this is an alt that just got into Toilet Tower Defense, who's like, oh, I'm gonna play the Winter Spotlight event, and then let's try Toilet Tower Defense first. Yeah, I couldn't even survive wave 1. Like, come on. Like, that's horrible. So Toilet Tower Defense requires you to have extremely busted towers, and basically is unplayable. Even the standard token is unplayable. You need to beat this mode once, and I'm pretty sure the boss has like 100,000 health or something. And then your weak guys are like super ass. No, the only way to get through this is to have someone carry you, and like that's super difficult, considering like tower defense people like don't like collaborate. So the standard token, like realistically, if you were to grind for the towers that gets you to where you need to be, the standard token is definitely going to take you at least an hour, like, or even 2 hours. Like Toilet Tower Defense is definitely up there for one of like the most stupid games in this event. As you can see, like if starter towers cannot beat the event, or if they don't give you like a loadout, which they actually gave you an overpowered unit for the classic so that you could actually beat the event. And actually we used that unit to actually beat this. You can solo it, by the way, with the classic speaker man. But because they don't give you like that overpowered tower that you need to beat this, because there's no way you're beating this by yourself or even with friends. If you like, let's say you all hopped into Toilet Tower Defense for the first time, like you and like 10 other people, yeah, you're not beating this. You need to have the towers and say, oh, okay, I can just like, use Robux and buy like the best towers. No, Toilet Tower Defense is an RNG game, and you have to roll for your towers, which is like awful. It's horrible. Okay, so the elite token is basically on the same boat with a standard. You just have to beat the mode with 2 towers or less, basically saying that either you get carried or you have the towers that you need. And finding people is extremely unreliable. Like, the way you should be able to do events is that you can hop in with a friend or two and then get it done quickly, or for 2 hours if you're Dusty Trip. So, like, Toilet Tower Defense really needed to give out another unit, like Classic Cameraman. And if it was like that, it would definitely be bearable, and it would be a pretty good event, I'd say. Alright, next is Sonic Speed Simulator. Now, Sonic Speed Simulator is literally just running around a map, and, like, that's it. It's not like Royal High, where you actually have to do something, and you have to, like, get every single snowflake or else your time runs out or whatever. Sonic Speed Simulator is just running around in a circle until you get what you need. So basically, it's just gonna be like this, or like the standard token is super easy, and then the presence for the elite token, it's literally just repeating the same thing over and over again. It's not difficult, it's just time consuming, and yeah, there really is no skill in just running around in a circle. Like, I know some of these that I said that, like, it's not hard, it's just time consuming, but some of them require, like, actual thinking to do. Like, maybe you have to, like, count snowflakes for Royal High, or you have to, like, you know, use brain cells to find out how to get over that fence in Liberty County. But for, like, Sonic Speed Simulator, you're just running in a circle. Like, that's it. You are just running in a circle, and there's nothing, like, else that you need to be doing. You can also increase your speed in Sonic Simulator to make, you know, you go faster, which just makes it easier and does not, like, you know, kill the like, it does not increase the difficulty. All right, next is War Tycoon. War Tycoon is extremely time consuming, and you should probably skip this one. But let's talk about the standard one first. Now, the standard one, I'd say, is pretty easy. Like, the standard one, like, you're in and out in there in, like, 2 minutes. Like, finding 10 gifts around the map is extremely easy, and honestly, it should not take any time at all to find just a couple. Like, and 10 is just, like, you know, super easy because they're super abundant. They're all around the outside of the map. There's, like, not really a lot in the center of the map, just so you know. They're mostly around the outskirts, so just drive around the bridges that aren't blown up, and you'll find the 10 presents you need for your standard token. Now, for the elite token, it is extremely time consuming, and I had to use a guide for the elite token because it's super hard. And, like, the fact that there is exactly 25, again, this is you know, having the same problem as Royal High, because there is, like, an exact amount and you cannot miss any of them, basically just increases its difficulty all the way, because you're just missing, you know, that 1 or 2 tokens around the map, or presents around the map, and you're just, like, driving around hoping you hear the jingle bell of the present, and, like, hoping that you don't get blown up by someone in a jet. I guess that's another thing about War Tycoon, is that there's people flying around with jets that just, like, bomb you, and then you just have to start back at your base after you're done. So yeah, that's that one. It's honestly really, it's really difficult, and I had to use a guide to find all 25. I'm just saying, if you have to use a guide and put it down to 0.25 speed to figure out where all the collectibles in an event is, it's probably not a good event. Anyway, next is Warrior Cats. So Warrior Cats, I found the easy token to be super easy. You only have to get 3 points. You literally just have to catch, like, 3 mouse or rabbit or whatever, and it's super easy to find, and this elite token, this normal token is very free. And now the elite token. The elite token is just time consuming. It's just time consuming. It's not hard, it's time consuming. I mean, people are stealing your kills, but, like, it's not as hard as, you know, some of this other stuff that's up here. It should only take 20 minutes. You can also hop servers if you really wanted to. Yeah. Okay, finally, is Tower Defense Simulator. Tower Defense Simulator is probably up there with Dusty Trip for, like, the worst event in this game. Not because it's bad, not because the event is bad, it's because there's no way for new players to complete it. The easy token is you know, it's kind of difficult. You need to have good teammates, and you need to know how to play TDS properly. Now, I say just use Pursuit. Everyone use the Pursuit loadout, because they give you a set loadout. Unlike toilet tower defense, they actually give you a set loadout. So maybe this goes up here or something. I don't know, but you can get carried with this. This you can't really. I mean, I guess they're both on the same. But TDS, you just need to have good teammates, and you need to be able to use pursuit, which shouldn't take too long. I mean, the mode is super easy. I mean, you'll die early if you're doing something wrong. So, and then you can also look up a guide with TDS because there are set loadouts. Toilet tower defense, you cannot look up a guide because there's RNG towers. Like, you don't know what people are going to have, and you don't know if they're guaranteed to have those towers. And TDS also is a bop because folk was cooked with the music, as always. So, yeah, that's really nice, and it makes your experience a lot better. Now, the TDS Elite token, again, is probably a contender for the worst Elite token in this event. Not only do they not give you a set loadout, so basically you are forced to have the towers that are presented even in the easy mode. So stuff like Brawler, they give you access to Brawler, which, by the way, you need to be level 50, and then you need to grind hardcore, which, again, no new player can possibly do that. Then you need to actually find a good team. That means go on the Discord, search a party, and you know, I actually play TDS. I'm like level 200, and I still had trouble with this, which means that, like, how is literally anyone supposed to do this? Like, it's baffling. It's really, like, confusing why they decided this would be, like, a good idea. Like, maybe the Elite token could have been be easy mode with your own towers, okay? Like, that would probably be hard enough. But, like, the Elite token requiring you to have level 150 towers and, like, actually, like playing really good. Like, the guy has 2 million health. I know Encrypted did make a video on how to reduce his health by 33%, but that's still using a glitch and an exploit. You should not be able to, like, you should not, like, rely on an exploit in order to win an event. And this TDS thing definitely took, like, 3 hours. It was not as long as Dusty Trip or Bee Swarm, but it was just that the level of, like, nonsense that you have to go through in order to, like, even think about beating this event. You have, before you even think about beating this, like, you have to have level 150 towers, and then you have to, like, be good at the game. Like, for an event that just spontaneously appears and expects players to, like, you know, complete it, this is really out of line and really is a horrible event. That does not mean it was not fun. It was pretty fun, I guess, killing Frost Spirit and, like, you know, but then again, I'm level 200. Like, for people that are level 1 and only have, like, Scout and Sniper, like, the easy token is excusable because you have preset loadout. Because, like, they give you the towers you need to win. They're like, this event is possible. Now try to go beat it. The Elite token is just throwing that out of the window and, like, telling you to go fend for yourself. And they also give you useless Snowballer that does nothing. And they also, like, kill all your towers midway through the match, which, you know, is slightly annoying. Alright, so that is all of the Winter Spotlight badges based on how difficult it was. I will try to make another video based on how much fun it was and how, like, good it was. But this is just based on difficulty. So if you were deciding to go beat this event, I mean, you have a week. This is being recorded on December 25th, which is Christmas, and the event, I think, ends on January something. So you have at least 5 days. This is probably the order that you should go in for Elite token-wise. You should definitely get Elemental. You should definitely get Dress to Impress. You should definitely get NFL. You should definitely get Sonic. You should definitely get Warrior Cats. Basically, anything under Long you should probably get. All of these are Elite tokens, and you can only kill 4 of them. I say, you know, if you're good at TDS and Bee Swarm, these might not, like people are good at different things, and this event is really, like, garbage because it basically rewards the players that have been playing that one specific game for a while, and then basically spits on everyone else who has not been playing, you know, that's one specific game. So, you know, if you ever see that, like, TDS is having an event or Bee Swarm's having an event, you should probably grind that considering that these games have been in pretty much all of the events so far, you should probably be ready for the what's to come. Okay, now as a quick overview, I'd say this is pretty, like, this is kind of balanced. I'd say that maybe some of the painful grind should have went down, but other than that, I feel like this is pretty much how the events are gonna be in the future, and there is an event coming people speculate in January, so be ready for that. I will be a lot more prepared for Bee Swarm. Bee Swarm really was probably the worst offender. It took the longest. Toilet was cheesed. TDS was quote unquote cheesed. And everything else was basically just using a guide. I really hope there's going to be no more events where you have to do specific stuff that has no indication, such as Dusty Trip. That's not saying that Dusty Trip events sucked. It just means that for a required like game, like if they do end up requiring like a lot more games like later, like they're requiring most of them, and it's really nice that they're letting you slide off for events, and I think that's really nice. All right, so that'll be it. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will be probably doing another tier list tomorrow based on how fun it was. So see ya.